Can everyone hear me?
No.
Here we go again. It is with great pleasure that we welcome members of the federal, provincial, and municipal governments here today for this important announcement. I also wish to extend a special welcome to Mayor Doug Naish of St. Andrews and Mayor Winston Gamble of Harvey Station. And now I'm going to introduce Karen Ludwig. Karen Ludwig is a member of Parliament for New Brunswick Southwest. She is no stranger to this village or to this building. She has always been a strong supporter of McAdam Railway Station, and along with members of her family, has taken part in many of the activities held here over the past several years. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Ludwig.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Elsie, for your kind introduction, and it's always a pleasure to be here in McAdam. I'm very pleased to be here representing the Minister of Environment, Climate Change, and also Minister responsible for Parks Canada, the Honourable Catherine McKenna. Built in 1900, the McAdam Railway Station is a national treasure. Commissioned by the Canadian Pacific Railway President Sir William Van Horn, it is part of the main CPR line into Atlantic Canada, the Eastern Seaboard States, and Western Canada. The original construction of this building took 1 year at a cost of $30,000. The station also serviced 15 passenger trains a day. If we look back in history, in 1976, the McAdam Railway Station was designated a National Historic Site. In 1989, it was featured on the Canada Post stamp in the Architectural Series. As I've often said at different announcements regarding heritage buildings, that built heritage tells a story about our past, and how we manage it will tell the story about our future. The restoration and revitalization of this iconic structure are making it a busy tourist attraction and an economic driver for the village of McAdam. Railway enthusiasts looking for a new find are always pleasantly surprised by the station, designed by the famous architect Edward Maxwell. A few weeks ago, Minister Ames and I had an announcement at Minister's Island, the home of Sir William Van Horn, the founder of CP Rail, who also has a Maxwell home. Prominently placed on the hill, this station's presence in this community is irreplaceable. As Elsie mentioned, I have had the pleasure over the last couple of years to be here for the infamous Railway Pie Sundays, and I was really surprised to learn that the Railway Pie is so famous. It's been going on for 100 years. I did not know that. I've also been here for the Christmas dinners, and most recently, Minister Ames and I had a train ride from McAdam to Harvey, and I can say that I even danced with the conductor. I've come to love the Miss Abigail stories, and the stories about the young female staff who worked here, and they were only told they could go to the local dances after the dishes were done. So as I'm told by the storytellers, that many times they threw the dishes into the pond to say the dishes were done so they could go to the dance. Many of our World War I and World War II soldiers connected with this village, arriving by train, and sadly, too many have not returned from war. All that visit this station and learn of its Canadian historical significance are forever changed by the experience. This is what makes it so valuable to maintain. I am proud to be part of a government that supports this national treasure. In Canada's 150th year, I can think of nothing more appropriate than reaffirming our commitment to the important pieces of Canadian history. I am very pleased to announce that the Government of Canada will be investing almost $196,000 in the conservation of the McAdam Railway Station through the National Cost Sharing Program for Heritage Places. This is a program that ensures the protection of national historic sites, heritage lighthouses, and railway stations. Heritage tourism represents a significant contributor to Canada's economy. Tourism is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry, and it is estimated that cultural tourism accounts for 1/3 of that market. Today, the McAdam Station stands as an important legacy to the people of McAdam and the entire region. It also stands as a legacy to the incredible, dedicated group of volunteers with the McAdam Historical Restoration Commission. Over the years, I'm told that this group of volunteers has raised over $1 million. That is a lot of pies, my friends. To the volunteers and to the commission, you have kept the stories of the passengers and the crew alive. You have shared the history, and you have been the connectors of the past to our future. And speaking of the future, I see some of the students who are here this morning from Canada Summer Jobs, and I thank you for your work here, and no pressure, but we are counting on you to tell these stories and share them into the future. Thank you. Enjoy the day. Merci beaucoup.
The Honourable John Ames, the Minister for Tourism, Heritage and Culture for New Brunswick and MLA for St. Croix, is also a strong supporter of the McAdam Railway Station. In fact, last fall we were talking about a Christmas decorating show, and he somehow not only volunteered to decorate a tree, but he challenged Karen Ludwig to decorate one as well. He's the only person I know who can cut down a tree while wearing a three-piece suit. Please give a warm welcome to the Honourable John Ames.
This may be the same jacket I wore that day, so it's a testament to the person who made this jacket. No, it's always a pleasure to be here in McAdam. I want to thank all of you for coming out today on such a very special occasion, a very special milestone, at a very special place, which is near and dear to all your hearts, certainly our hearts, and we hope to continue to instill what has brought many joyful occasions to all of you for many, many, many generations going forward. So I want to thank certainly MP Ludwig for coming today and bringing such great news. I want to thank Mayor Stanix and fellow councillors from McAdam, as well as I'd like to thank, of course, the committee, volunteers, and other community leaders, past and present, for all your dedication over the years for allowing such a celebratory facility to have such a long-standing legacy and be so impactful for those that are wishing to continue its heritage moving forward. I'd also like to recognize, of course, we have Mayor Naish and we have Mayor Gamblin with us here, and you know, that's what's so great about our region, and that's what makes me so proud to be your representative, is the fact that leaders from the entire region come together and they work together and they work as a cohesive network to instill certainly tourism, from my point of view, but all sectors of growth in our region to be even better, to be even more emboldened, and making sure that we have the best place to live, work, and raise a family, not just in New Brunswick as a whole, but in our region here in the Southwest, here in St. Croix. And I really do believe that we have the best place to live, work, and raise a family in the entire world because of that connection, because of that collaboration. And there's no telling where we can go moving forward with that continued collaboration. So thank you very much, Your Worship, for coming here today and shedding light on today's great announcement. And I can certainly tell you, and I'd be remiss not to mention the other mayors from the region. I'm sure if they had the opportunity to come, they would come as well, and they certainly are thinking about us today. So I want to thank all of them too for their ongoing support with McAdam and the McAdam train station. Our government is certainly proud to continue to be a partner with the McAdam train station with the renovations that are going on here. And we're proud because this station not only represents a strong heritage and cultural landmark here in McAdam itself, but it's a tourism driver. And tourism is important to our government. And I'm proud to say that our government has invested 17% into this sector, a sector that has return on investment. And isn't it refreshing to know a government's investing into sectors that have return on investment? We're not just throwing money out the window. We're throwing money at things that are going to stick and going to last and going to grow. And tourism is very important to us here in McAdam and here throughout the Southwest. It's going to be a foundation for our economic growth plan here in the province of New Brunswick. It's going to bring further opportunities. And to capitalize on these tourism opportunities, my department is developing a comprehensive multi-year tourism growth strategy that aims to make our province the new destination of choice in all of Eastern Canada. There's no reason why we can't be. We need to be the proud New Brunswickers that we can be, because We are the picture province. We have